My dear child, let me tell you something today that I want you to carry in your heart for the rest of your life. You are not an accident. You are not a failure. You are not some random face in a crowd that nobody notices. You are the child of the most powerful, most loving, most magnificent king who has ever existed. And it is time you started walking, talking, and living like it. Right now, wherever you are sitting or standing, I want you to do something for me. Look down at your hands. Look at your palms carefully. Study every line on them. Because I want you to understand something so beautiful that it might bring tears to your eyes. I have written your name on the palms of my own hands. Every single time I look at my hands, I see you. I think of you. I smile because of you. You are not just a memory to me. You are not just someone I check on from time to time. You are permanently carved into my heart, engraved so deeply that nothing in this universe could ever erase you from it. The world around you has been lying to you for a very long time. It has been telling you that your value depends on how much money you make, what kind of house you live in, what kind of car you drive, or whether someone chose to love you or walked away from you. The world looks at your job title and decides if you matter. It looks at your bank balance and decides if you are successful. It looks at your relationship status and decides if you are worthy. But I want you to hear me very clearly today. The world is wrong. Every single metric the world uses to measure your worth is garbage. Your worth was decided before you ever took your first breath on this earth. The moment I breathed life into your tiny body, you became priceless. No number in a bank account can define you. No job title can measure you. No person walking away from you can reduce your value. You belong to me, and that single truth makes you more valuable than anything this entire world has to offer. You are an heir. Do you understand what that word means? It means that everything I own, every blessing, every promise, every protection, every grace that exists in my kingdom belongs to you. Not because you earned it, not because you were perfect, but simply because you are mine. And I want you to start stepping into that truth today. I want you to stop walking into rooms with your shoulders hunched and your head down, as if you are sorry for being alive. I placed you in your family on purpose. I placed you in your city on purpose. I placed you in your workplace on purpose. You did not end up where you are by accident. You were positioned there by the hand of a king who knows exactly what he is doing. My spirit lives inside of you. When you speak truth, darkness has no choice but to run away. When you walk in love, walls begin to crumble. When you choose faith over fear, mountains begin to move. I am inviting you today to live with a quiet, unshakable confidence. Not the loud, proud confidence that the world celebrates, but the deep, steady, immovable confidence that comes from knowing you are truly, deeply, and fiercely loved by the one who created the entire universe. And the next time that voice inside your head tries to tell you that you are worthless, that you are too broken, that you are too far gone, I want you to answer it back. Say it out loud right now. I am chosen. I am forgiven. I am deeply loved. Say it like you mean it. Say it until your heart starts to believe it. Wear your identity like a crown today, and do not let anyone, not the world, not your past, not your own doubts, take that crown off your head. You are a royal child. You are completely restored, and you are crowned with an authority that this world cannot take from you. Every video on this channel is created with love, faith, and dedication to sharing God's word. If these messages inspire and encourage you, you can support our mission through PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. Thank you for being part of this journey. Now let us talk about something that I see happening in your life every single day. I see you working so hard. I see you planting good seeds in places where the ground looks completely dry and dead. I see you doing the right thing when nobody around you is watching and nobody seems to care. You have been biting your tongue when you wanted to scream. You have been going to work every morning and giving your absolute best, even when you feel invisible and underappreciated. You have been staying up late at night, praying for your children, praying for your spouse, praying for your future, watering those prayers with your own silent tears. And then you look at the ground and you see nothing growing. You see no sign of change. No sign that anything you are doing is making any difference at all. And you are so tempted to just drop everything and walk away. But I am commanding you today to keep planting. Do not drop your tools. Do not abandon the field. The spiritual law of seed time and harvest is one of the most unbreakable laws I have ever put in place. A farmer does not plant a seed in the morning and expect to eat the fruit by the afternoon. There is a season between planting and harvest, and that season requires patience, trust, and continued faithfulness. Your harvest is closer than you think, much closer than it looks right now. And I want you to know something that will give you the strength to keep going. I have seen every single seed you have planted. Not one of them has been wasted. Not one of them has gone unnoticed. I saw the moment you chose integrity, when cheating would have been so much easier. I saw the time you gave money to someone in need, even when your own wallet was nearly empty. I saw the grace you extended to someone who hurt you deeply. When every part of you wanted to hold on to the anger, I saw you get back up after the fall that should have finished you. I saw the quiet faithfulness in the ordinary, invisible moments of your everyday life. Not a single act of goodness has slipped past my notice. Every seed you have planted in faith is sitting in fertile soil, and I am sending the rain. You are about to step into a season of harvest, unlike anything you have experienced before. The tears you cried alone in the dark are going to produce a joy so deep, so heavy, and so profound that it will literally take your breath away. And this harvest is not just for you. It is going to overflow into the lives of your children. It is going to reach your grandchildren and generations that you will never even meet on this earth. Your faithfulness today is breaking curses that were meant to follow your family line for decades. Your steadfast prayer is building blessings into the foundation of the lives of people who have not even been born yet. I am a God of multiplication. You handed me a small, trembling seed of obedience, and I am preparing an entire forest of blessing in return. You have been hoping and praying for just enough to get by. But I want you to understand something about me. I do not operate in just enough. I operate in overflow. I operate in abundance. I operate in more than you could ever ask or imagine. So do not grow weary in doing good. Keep your heart right. Keep your hands open. And get ready, because the harvest I am bringing into your life is going to be far bigger than the seed you planted. Before we go any further, I want to remind you to subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. Every single day, words like these are being prepared and released to encourage you, to strengthen you, and to remind you of who you truly are. Hit that subscribe button so that you never miss a message that was made specifically for you. Now let us talk about the fear, because I see it. I feel it. I know that tight knot sitting in your stomach right now. I know the tension you carry in your shoulders every single morning when you wake up. I know that you open your eyes before the sun rises, and your mind immediately starts running through every worst-case scenario it can find. You are afraid of the future. You are terrified of the bills piling up. You are scared of what might happen to your children. You lay awake at night wondering if everything is going to fall apart, and the weight of it is absolutely crushing you. I am commanding you right now to give me that fear. Hand it over. All of it. Every single worry. Every single what if. Every single nightmare that plays on repeat in your mind at 3 in the morning. I did not give you a spirit of fear. That heavy, suffocating dread you feel does not come from me. It is not your inheritance. It is not your destiny. I gave you a spirit of power. I gave you a spirit of love. I gave you a spirit of a clear and sound mind. The fear you are experiencing right now is a projection. The enemy is playing a terrifying movie inside your head, and you have been sitting there in the dark watching it like it is absolute truth, like it is inevitable, like there is no way out. I want you to get up and walk out of that dark theater. I am the director of your life, and I write the final scene, not you, not the enemy, not your circumstances, me. And I am telling you that the ending I have written for your story is good. It is so good. So I am asking you to cast every single one of your anxieties onto me right now, because I care about you completely. And I am absolutely strong enough to carry the weight of your tomorrow. You have been trying to carry a heavy backpack full of rocks that I never asked you to pick up. Put it down. Drop it at my feet right now. Let my perfect love drive out every trace of dread that has taken up residence in your heart. When you truly understand how fiercely and completely I love you, fear simply loses its grip. Fear tells you to hide. I tell you to stand. Fear tells you that you are completely alone. I tell you that I am standing right beside you, right now, in this very moment. I want you to start speaking life into the situations in your life that look like death. Stop talking about how bad things are, as if I have no power to change them. Stop saying your broken family will never heal. Stop saying you will never get out of debt. Your words carry real power. They shape the atmosphere around you. Use your mouth to declare my promises over your life. Speak health over your body. Speak peace over your home. Speak breakthrough over your finances. Speak restoration over your relationships. I am with you, and I am placing the courage of a lion inside your chest right now. You can face tomorrow because my spirit lives in you. Do not shrink back. Step forward. You do not need to know exactly what is going to happen next month, because you know me, and I control next month. Breathe deeply right now. Inhale courage. Exhale panic. You are completely safe in my hands. I also see you gripping the steering wheel of your own life, so tightly that your knuckles are turning white. You are exhausted from trying to control every single outcome. You try to force your relationships to go the way you want them to go. You try to manipulate situations so you do not get hurt again. You try to plan every single detail of your future, because the idea of uncertainty terrifies you. And all of this controlling, all of this white, knuckle gripping, is driving you into the ground. I am commanding you to take your hands off the wheel. Surrender is not weakness. Surrender is not giving up. Surrender is giving it to me. You think that if you let go, everything will fall apart. But I am telling you that I am the one holding your world together. Not you. You never were. I want you to empty yourself of your own rigid plans, your own stubborn timelines, and your own fixed expectations, so that I can fill you completely with something far better. Imagine a small child holding onto a broken, ruined toy, crying because it is destroyed. And I am kneeling right in front of that child with a brand new, beautiful gift in my hands. But I cannot give that gift until the child opens their hands and lets go of the broken pieces. That child is you, and I am holding something so much better than what you are clinging to right now. Open your hands. Let go. Surrender your worries in exchange for my deep, lasting peace. And when you feel that urge to panic and snatch back control, I want you to worship me instead. When you feel invisible and overlooked by the people around you, lift your hands and praise me anyway. Worship is one of the most powerful weapons you have access to. It shifts your focus from how big your problems are to how big I am. It breaks the chains of anxiety in a way that logic and planning never can. So today, I want you to say these words out loud. Say, I surrender. I trust you. Say it slowly. Say it until you actually feel the tension begin to leave your body. Because I am a good father, and I know exactly how to take care of what you entrust to me. Now I need to talk to you about the people in your life who have hurt you. I see the coworker who constantly undermines you and takes credit for your work. I see the family member whose sharp, careless words cut you deeply at the dinner table year after year. I see the friend who walked away when you needed them the most. I see the person who betrayed your trust in a way that shook you to your core. And I know you want to fight back. I know you want to defend yourself. I know that holding on to the anger feels like protection, like a shield between you and more pain. But I am commanding you to lower that shield right now. I am not asking you to pretend that what happened was okay. It was not okay. What they did was not fair. But I am asking you to see these broken people through my eyes for just a moment. The people who hurt you are often bleeding from wounds of their own that nobody can see. They lash out because they are in pain. They tear others down because they themselves feel small. This does not excuse what they did, but it does explain it. And understanding it is the first step toward being free from it. Forgiveness is not about letting them off the hook. It is about taking the sharp hook out of your own heart, because bitterness, if you hold on to it long enough, will poison every beautiful thing I am trying to build in your life. Forgive them the same way I have freely and completely forgiven you, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. At the same time, I am asking you to be very wise about who you allow to walk closely with you. Not everyone who is around you belongs in your inner circle. Walk away from relationships that constantly drain your energy, pull you into gossip, and leave you feeling worse about yourself every single time you walk away from them. Surround yourself with people who sharpen you, people who encourage you, people who point you back to me when you start to drift. You are called to be my hands and feet in your world. Pray for the people around you. Serve them. Show them what real love looks like in everyday life. Be the kind of light in your home and your workplace that makes people wonder where your peace comes from. I want to pause here and ask you something important. Are you subscribed to this channel? If this message is touching your heart, if these words are speaking directly to something you have been carrying, then please take a moment right now and subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to hear it today. You never know whose life could be completely changed by one message they almost scrolled past. We are committed to spreading hope, faith, and the message of Jesus Christ to people around the world. If you would like to help us continue this work, please visit PayPal links below. Your kindness means more than words can express. Now let us talk about something that I watch happen every single morning, and it breaks my heart a little every time. You wake up, and before you even get out of bed, you reach for your phone. You scroll through the news, the arguments, the comparisons, the highlight reels of other people's lives, and by the time you walk into your kitchen, you already feel behind, already feel inadequate, already feel anxious. You wonder why you feel so disconnected and dry by lunchtime. You are like a phone that was never plugged into the charger overnight. You are running on 2% battery and wondering why everything feels so hard. I am the vine and you are the branch, and a branch that is cut off from the vine cannot produce fruit. It just withers. I am commanding you to stay connected to your source, to me. I am your true home. Not a building, not a relationship, not a career, me. And I am inviting you to find the deep nourishment that only comes from spending real, quiet, intentional time with me every single day. Stop giving me the leftover scraps of your exhausted evenings. Give me your first. Give me the early, quiet moments before the noise of the world wakes up and starts demanding your attention. Sit in the stillness. Open my word. Let it sink deep into your mind and your heart until it becomes the filter through which you see everything else. Talk to me throughout your day, not just in formal prayers on Sunday morning. Talk to me in the car. Talk to me while you are washing the dishes. Talk to me when that sudden wave of sadness hits you out of nowhere. Prayer is not a religious ritual. It is a continuous, honest, real conversation between a child and a father who loves them more than they could possibly comprehend. When you stay close to me, the things that used to send you into a spiral begin to lose their power over you. You will walk into chaotic situations carrying a peace that people around you cannot explain. So stop running so hard. Sit down. Breathe me in. Let me fill your empty tank right now. I need to speak very honestly to you about something else. Your mind. Because I am deeply concerned about what you are allowing into it every single day. You wake up and let a flood of tragic news, toxic opinions, and endless comparison wash over your brain before you have even said a word to me. Your mind is like a house, and you are leaving the front door wide open for anything and everything to just walk in and make a mess. I am commanding you to stand up and lock that door. The anxiety that keeps you awake at night is not a mystery. It is a direct result of the diet you are feeding your spirit. When you constantly consume negativity, your inner world becomes negative. When you fill your mind with fear-based news and bitter conversations, fear and bitterness take root. I am inviting you to take your thoughts captive today. Stop watching things that glorify everything I died to save you from. Stop participating in gossip that leaves everyone involved feeling a little dirtier than before. Stop letting the world rent space in your mind for free. Your mind is not a dumping ground. It is a temple. And I live there. Guard the inner space where I meet with you. Wash your mind daily with my word. Turn off the noise and sit in silence with me. This is not about following a boring list of rules. This is about protecting the very place from which your entire life flows. When your mind is clean and your heart is at peace, you can hear my voice with a clarity that will absolutely amaze you. Guard your peace like it is the most valuable thing you own, because in many ways, it is. Now I want to speak to those of you who feel completely spiritually dry right now. You are still going through the motions. You go to church. You say the right words. You sing the songs. But inside, you feel nothing. You feel like you are walking through a desert with no water in sight. You remember a time when your faith felt alive and electric and full of joy. But right now everything just feels heavy and routine and empty. And you are secretly wondering if I have moved away from you. If you have done something to push me out of reach. Let me tell you the truth right now. I have not moved one single inch away from you. I am standing right beside you in this desert. The dryness you feel is not a sign that I have left. It is often a sign that I am doing something deep and quiet and important in you that you cannot yet see. A seed does not grow while it is still sitting in the light. It has to go into the dark ground first. And that dark, silent season in the ground is not abandonment, it is preparation. I am inviting you to find the hidden Isis that I have placed right in the middle of your spiritual dryness. Stop trying to quench your spiritual thirst with earthly water. You are looking for satisfaction in a new relationship, a promotion, a financial milestone, a new experience. And every time you drink from those wells, you feel better for a moment, and then you feel emptier than before. I am the living water. I am the only source that truly satisfies. And I am pouring a fresh, heavy rain of my spirit onto your parched heart right now. Open your hands. Tilt your face up. Receive it. I want to rekindle in you the intense, breathless love you felt for me when you first understood what I did for you. Do you remember that feeling? The overwhelming gratitude, the inexplicable joy, the sense that everything was going to be okay because you knew I was real and I loved you. I am bringing that feeling back, not as an emotion you have to chase, but as a reality you can rest in. In this dry season, keep showing up. Keep opening the book even when the words feel flat. Keep talking to me, even when it feels like I am not listening. Faith is not a feeling. It is a decision to trust me even when the sky is dark and the ground is cracking beneath your feet. The rain is coming. The drought is ending. I am breathing fresh life into your tired spirit right now. Drink deeply and watch the desert around you begin to bloom. I also want to speak to the pain of looking backward. I see how much time you spend flipping through the old pages of your life. The breakup that shattered you. The job that fell apart. The business that failed. The mistake you made that you cannot seem to forgive yourself for. You keep returning to those chapters, reading them over and over, convincing yourself that your best days are behind you. You look at your age, at the time that has passed, and you tell yourself it is too late. Too late to start over. Too late to chase the dream. Too late to restore what was broken. I am commanding you right now to close that book. I am doing something completely new in your life today. Can you see it? It is already beginning to spring up right in front of you, but you keep looking behind you and missing it. I am closing doors that no longer serve your growth, and I need you to stop trying to pry them back open. That relationship that ended, let it go. I am protecting you from something you cannot see yet. That job that disappeared, leave it behind. I have a better assignment waiting. I am handing you a brand new, completely blank page. And yes, stepping into the unknown is terrifying, but I am inviting you to experience the extraordinary adventure of the unknown when you have me as your personal guide. You do not need to know the destination when you trust the one driving. Nothing you went through was wasted. Not one painful experience, not one humiliating failure, not one heartbreaking loss. I have been taking all of it, every single piece, and forming it into wisdom, into depth, into the very thing that is going to make you effective and powerful in this new chapter. You are not starting over from scratch. You are starting over from experience, and that is an entirely different thing. So take off the coat of disappointment. Wash your face. Straighten your shoulders. You are walking into a season of massive restoration and unprecedented favor. And the ending I have written for your story is far more beautiful than anything you could have written for yourself. Let me now speak to something very specific. The gifts and abilities that I placed inside you before you were born. I watch you look at other people and feel that quiet, painful envy. You wish you could speak like them, lead like them, create like them, build wealth like them. And in the shadow of comparison, you look at what I gave you and you call it small. You call it insignificant. You minimize it, apologize for it, and hide it away. I am commanding you to stop insulting my creation. When you dismiss the gifts I gave you, you are telling me that I made a mistake. And I do not make mistakes. I gave you your specific gifts intentionally and precisely. Whether your gift is the ability to organize chaos, the depth of empathy that makes broken people feel seen, the creativity that turns nothing into something beautiful, or the mind that understands numbers and builds financial systems. I gave it to you for a reason. You are sitting on a goldmine of potential, and you do not even realize it. And I am inviting you to start using what you have. Do not bury it because you are afraid of failing. Do not hide it because you are afraid of what people will say. The world needs what I placed in you. Specifically you. Nobody else can do it exactly the way you can. I also want to shift how you think about your money and your time and your energy. None of it actually belongs to you. I gave all of it to you as a gift, and I am asking you to manage it on my behalf. When you hold on to what you have out of fear, clenching your fist around your resources, because you are terrified of not having enough, you actually block the flow of blessing into your life. But when you open your hands and give generously, something remarkable happens. The flow begins. Give your time to someone who is lonely. Give your energy to someone who is struggling. Give your money to causes and missions that honor me. When you bless others, blessing follows you. It is one of the most consistent principles I have ever set in place. You reap what you sow. Always. I want you to now subscribe to this channel if you have not already done so. And if this message has spoken to your heart, leave a comment below. Tell me what God spoke to you today. Your words might be exactly what someone else in the comments needs to read tonight. We are a community of people walking this journey together, and your voice matters here. Now let me speak to the noise, because the world you are living in right now is the loudest it has ever been. You open your phone, and you are hit with a tidal wave of outrage, confusion, shifting values, and contradictory opinions. Everyone is screaming their truth at the top of their lungs, and in the middle of all that noise, you are trying to figure out what is actually real, what is actually true, and what you are actually supposed to do. I am commanding you right now to stop letting the world be the loudest voice in your life. My truth has not changed. It did not change yesterday when the headlines shifted. It will not change tomorrow when a new controversy takes over the conversation. It is the same today as it was 1,000 years ago, and it will be the same 1,000 years from now. And I am asking you to plant your feet firmly on that unshakable foundation. Equip yourself with the full armor I have given you, because every single day you walk out your door, you are walking onto a spiritual battlefield. You need the belt of truth to keep you grounded. You need the shield of faith to deflect the lies the enemy fires at you constantly. You hear those lies every single day. The lie that you are falling behind everyone else. The lie that your values are outdated. The lie that you have to compromise who you are to get ahead. The lie that nobody truly cares about you. I am asking you to reject every single one of those lies the moment they arrive. You can only do that when you know my voice so well that you instantly recognize what does not sound like me. I am calling you to be an anchor for the people around you who are being swept away by the current of fear and confusion. Be the one who brings calm into panicked rooms. Be the one who brings light into dark conversations. You can only do that when you are deeply rooted in me. Let me also speak to what happens when the lights go out and the house is quiet, and it is just you and your thoughts. I know exactly what goes on inside your mind in those moments. The replaying of old conversations, the rehearsing of future arguments, the mental list of everything that could go wrong, the racing, spinning, relentless thoughts that refuse to let you rest. I am commanding you to stop trying to think your way out of your anxiety. You cannot outthink it. Logic will not fix this. I am inviting you into a peace that goes so far beyond your human understanding that your mind cannot even fully contain it. This peace is not fragile. It does not depend on your circumstances being perfect. It does not disappear when the bank account drops, or the doctor gives a frightening report, or the relationship goes through a difficult season. It is a supernatural, anchored, immovable peace that I place inside you when you choose to trust me in the storm. I am the God who speaks to wind and waves, and they immediately obey. And I am speaking that same stillness over your heart right now. You do not have to manage the universe. I am already doing that. Your job is simply to trust me and rest. Think of a deep ocean. On the surface there might be enormous waves, violent storms, churning chaos. But if you dive down deep enough, miles below the surface, The water is completely still, perfectly silent, undisturbed. I want you to live in that deep place with me. Let the storms rage on the surface of your life. Let the news cycle spin and the economy shift and the drama unfold. But do not let any of it reach the deep, still place where you and I dwell together. I am your safe harbor. I am your refuge. Breathe in my peace right now. Let your shoulders drop. Unclench your hands. Release the tension in your jaw. I am holding your world together, so you do not have to. This ministry exists to bring encouragement, prayer, and God's truth to every heart that needs it. You can stand with us through PayPal, links in the description and pinned comment. May God bless you abundantly for your love and support. Now I want to challenge something that I see slowly happening to so many of my children. Your daily routine has trained you to have low expectations. You have been walking through the same predictable schedule for so long that you have quietly stopped believing that I can interrupt your ordinary life with something extraordinary. You think miracles are things that happen to other people, in other times, in ancient stories. You do not really believe that one could happen to you, in your city, in your specific situation. This week, I am commanding you to raise your expectations. I am a God of sudden breakthroughs. You can go years with nothing appearing to change, and then in a single afternoon, I can shift the entire trajectory of your life. A phone call you were not expecting, an opportunity that appears from nowhere, a healing that defies every medical explanation, a relationship restored after years of silence. I do these things. I am still doing these things, and I want to do them in your life. Start cultivating an atmosphere of faith in your home. Stop speaking about your situation as if I have no power to change it. When you constantly talk about your debt as if it is permanent, your illness as if it is your identity, your broken relationship as if it is beyond repair, you are building walls against the very miracle you are asking me for. Start expecting the miraculous. Wake up in the morning and say out loud, I wonder what my Father is going to do today. Change your posture from defeat to anticipation. Because when you live with genuine expectancy, you start to see things you were missing before. You start to see my fingerprints all over your life, in places you had been calling coincidence. The season of waiting has felt unbearably long. I know that. I see how tired you are of hoping. But I need you to hold on just a little longer. Because the season of harvest, when it comes, will be so rapid and so abundant that it will make up for every long, quiet, difficult day of waiting. I am breaking chains right now. I am opening doors. I am restoring what was taken from you. Do not give up the moment before the breakthrough. Keep your eyes open. Keep your hands open. Get ready to testify about what I am about to do. Let me speak now about the dreams inside you. The ones you have been pushing down for years. The business idea that excites you for a moment and then gets buried under a pile of reasons why it would never work. The creative dream that lights something up inside you and then gets extinguished by the voice that says you are not talented enough, experienced enough, or young enough. The calling that whispers to you in quiet moments and then gets drowned out by the noise of everything urgent and immediate. I placed those dreams inside you. They did not come from nowhere. They came from me. And I am asking you today to stop making excuses for why you cannot pursue them. You are operating like a powerful car with the emergency brakes still pulled all the way up. The engine is running. The power is there. But you are going nowhere because you refuse to release the brake. The brake is your fear. Release it. Take the first step, even if it is a tiny one. Make the phone call you have been putting off for 6 months. Send the application, even if you feel underqualified. Have the conversation you have been avoiding. Start the project with whatever small amount of time, and resource you have right now. Bold faith always requires bold action. You cannot stay in the boat and experience the miracle of walking on water. You have to get out. I am standing on the water right now, holding my hand out to you. I will not let you drown. I have never lost anyone who truly stepped out in faith toward me. Step out, walk toward me, and watch what I do when you finally decide to trust me with everything you have. And now I want to come back to something foundational, something that all of this rests upon: your connection to me, your daily, ongoing, moment-by-moment connection to my presence. Everything I have spoken to you today, the courage, the peace, the faith, the generosity, the forgiveness, none of it is sustainable without staying deeply rooted in me. A branch can only produce fruit when it is connected to the vine. The moment it is cut off, it begins to wither, no matter how beautiful it looked the day before. So I am inviting you to make the decision right now to prioritize our relationship above every other thing in your life. Not out of religious obligation, not out of guilt, but because you genuinely love me and you genuinely need me. Give me your mornings before the world gets its hands on you. Sit with me in the quiet. Let my word renew your mind every single day. Talk to me constantly throughout the day. And when you go to sleep at night, let the last thought on your mind be one of gratitude and trust. When you stay connected to me like this, everything changes. The things that used to shake you will begin to feel manageable. The problems that used to paralyze you, you will begin to feel solvable. Not because your circumstances will always be perfect, but because you will be deeply rooted in someone who is bigger than any circumstance you will ever face. I am the vine. Stay connected. Stay close. Do not drift. My dear child, as we begin to move toward the close of this time together, I want to wrap something around you, something warm and solid and real. I want you to feel, right now in this moment, the absolute certainty of my love for you. Not the idea of it, not the concept of it, the actual, living, breathing, fierce, tender, unshakable reality of it. I love you, not because of what you do, not because of how well you perform or how good you have been this week. I love you because you are mine, and nothing, absolutely nothing in this world or beyond it, will ever change that. You have heard a great deal today. You have heard about your identity, your fears, your gifts, your relationships, your mind, your faith, your dreams. And I know it can feel overwhelming to take it all in at once. So let me simplify it. Let me bring it down to the most basic truth of everything we have talked about. You are deeply loved by me. Walk in that love. Live from that love. Give out of that love. Everything else flows from that one unshakable reality. My grace is going before you right now, clearing obstacles out of your path before you even reach them. My glory is behind you, protecting you from the mistakes and regrets of your past that try to sneak up and pull you backward. You are completely surrounded by my presence. There is nowhere you can go where I am not already there. There is no situation you will face where I have not already made provision. There is no enemy that can touch you without first coming through me. So go forward. Walk into tomorrow with your head up and your heart open. Walk into the difficult conversation with courage. Walk into the uncertain situation with faith. Walk into the new beginning with expectation. You are not walking alone. You are not walking in your own strength. You are walking with the Creator of the universe by your side, fighting your battles before you even know they are coming. I want you to carry what happened here today with you. Do not let these words just wash over you and disappear by tomorrow. Let them take root. Return to them when the fear comes back. Return to them when the doubt rises. Return to them when the voices in your head try to tell you that you are not enough, not loved, not chosen. Because you are, and you have always been, and you always will be. My dear child, I want to begin today by sitting with you in the one feeling that most people are too afraid to admit out loud. The feeling that even in a crowded room full of people who know your name, you feel completely and utterly alone. You smile at the right moments. You laugh when others laugh. You say that you are fine when people ask. But deep inside, there is a hollow, aching loneliness that you carry around every single day, like a stone in your chest. You wonder if anyone truly sees you, not the version of you that shows up to work or family dinners or church, but the real you, the tired you, the confused you, the you that lies awake at 3 a.m, asking questions you are too afraid to say out loud. I want you to hear me say this as clearly and as tenderly as I possibly can. I see that person. I know that person. And I love that person with a love so fierce and so complete that if you could feel even a fraction of it for just 1 second, it would bring you to your knees. Loneliness is one of the heaviest things a human heart can carry. And the cruel thing about it is that it does not always come from being physically alone. You can be surrounded by your family at a holiday dinner and feel loneliness cutting through you like a cold wind. You can be in a relationship and feel more alone than you did when you were single. You can be in a church full of people singing the same songs and feel like the only person in the room who is not really reaching what everyone else seems to be experiencing. And that kind of loneliness, the kind that exists in the middle of a crowd, is a particular kind of pain that very few people talk about honestly. So let me be honest with you today. I did not design you to live on the surface of relationships. I designed you for deep, real, vulnerable connection. And when that is missing, something inside you aches because it knows what it was made for. But here is what I need you to understand. Before any human being can meet that deep need inside you, I have to be the one who fills it first. Every person you have ever tried to make your everything, every relationship you have poured yourself into expecting it to finally fix the hollow feeling inside, has disappointed you. Not necessarily because those people were bad, but because they were human. And no human being was ever designed to carry the weight of being someone else's everything. That weight belongs to me. I am the only one who can sit with you in every single moment, who knows every single thought before you think it, who loves you without condition, without limit, and without the possibility of ever growing tired of you. I am the friend who is closer than a brother. I am the father who never leaves. I am the one who will never misunderstand you, never get distracted when you are trying to talk, and never make you feel like you are too much or too broken or too needy. So when the loneliness hits you, and I know it will because you are human, and you live in a world that is very good at making people feel invisible, I want you to run to me first, not after you have exhausted every other option, not as a last resort when no one else is available. Run to me first. Bring me the loneliness before it hardens into bitterness. Bring me the ache before it becomes despair. Let me be the one who sits with you in it, because I do not run from your pain. I do not get uncomfortable when you are a mess. I lean in closer. I always have. And while I am healing that deep place inside you, I am also preparing the right people to walk into your life at exactly the right time. People who will truly see you. People who will know how to love you the way you need to be loved. But first, let me be enough. Let me be your home. If these messages have brought peace to your heart, strengthened your faith, or reminded you of God's love, please consider supporting this ministry through PayPal links below. Together, we can continue sharing hope and God's word with countless souls around the world. Now I want to speak about something that shakes even the most faithful hearts. The silence. The times when you have been praying and crying and reaching out to me, and the heavens feel like solid brass. You speak and nothing comes back. You wait and nothing moves. You search for me in the familiar places where you used to find me, and I do not seem to be there. And the longer the silence stretches, the more terrifying questions begin to creep in. Is he even listening? Does he care? Did I do something to push him away? Is any of this even real? These are the moments that determine the depth of your faith more than any other. Not the moments when I am showing up in obvious and dramatic ways, but the quiet, still, empty, feeling moments when you have to decide whether to keep trusting someone you cannot hear. Let me tell you something about my silence that you may have never considered before. My silence is never absence. When I am quiet, I am not gone. When you cannot feel my presence, I have not moved. When your prayers seem to bounce off the ceiling and fall back down to the floor, that does not mean they are not being heard. It means I am working on the answer in ways that happen below the surface, in the invisible places, in the deep and complex territory of your life and the lives of everyone connected to you. The most significant things I do in your life are often things you cannot see while they are happening. You only see them in hindsight. You only understand them later when you look back and realize that the season that felt like abandonment was actually the season I was doing my most careful and detailed work in you. Think about a seed planted in the ground. Once it goes into the soil and the ground closes over it, there is nothing to see on the surface. Days pass, weeks pass, and to anyone looking at the ground, nothing is happening. But underground, in the dark and the quiet, something absolutely extraordinary is taking place. The seed is cracking open. Roots are pushing down. A shoot is forming and making its way upward toward the light. The silence on the surface is not a sign that nothing is happening. It is the very environment in which the most important growth is occurring. Your silent seasons are your seed seasons. And I am asking you to trust me in the dark the same way you trust me in the light. This is also the moment to be honest about something else. Sometimes my silence is an invitation to go deeper. You have been coming to me with your list of requests, your urgent needs, your specific prayers with specific expected outcomes. And I am not saying that is wrong. I love it when you bring me your needs. But sometimes I go quiet on the surface because I am waiting for you to stop talking long enough to actually listen. I have things to say to you that cannot be heard over the noise of your asking. I have depths to show you that cannot be explored in a hurried 5-minute morning prayer. My silence is sometimes my way of saying, sit down, be still. I want to take you somewhere deeper than you have ever been with me before. And that kind of depth requires a different kind of quiet than you are used to. So the next time the silence comes, before you spiral into fear and doubt, try sitting in it. Try being still in it. Try listening in it. You might be surprised by what you hear when you stop filling every gap with your own words. I want to speak now about something that lives very deep inside many of you. The wounds that were given to you before you were old enough to understand what was happening. The things that were said to you as a child that settled into your bones and have been shaping the way you see yourself ever since. The father who was never there, or worse, who was there but whose presence brought fear instead of safety. The mother whose love felt conditional, given when you performed well and withdrawn when you did not. The childhood home where love was not spoken and affection was not shown, and you learned very early that you had to earn your place in the room. The sibling who was always compared to you. The classmate whose words sliced something tender in you that never quite healed right. These early wounds are some of the most powerful forces shaping your adult life, and most people have no idea how much they are still being driven by pain that was inflicted on them before they even had the language to describe it. And so before we go any further, I want to invite you to subscribe to this channel if these words are reaching a place inside you that you did not expect to visit today. Every week, messages like this one are released specifically to speak to the deep places in you that the ordinary world never touches. Subscribe now so you never miss a message that was made for exactly where you are. I see the wounds from your childhood, every single one of them. I see the little version of you sitting in a room, wondering why the love you needed was not coming. I see the teenager trying to figure out who they were while the people who were supposed to help them figure it out were absent or cruel, or simply too lost in their own pain to be fully present. I see the adult you are today, still carrying some of those same questions. Am I lovable? Am I enough? Will people leave if they really get to know me? Do I deserve good things? These questions were planted in you by wounded people who passed on what was done to them. They did not give you truth. They gave you their damage. And you have been mistaking that damage for your identity ever since. Today I want to begin a healing process in you that goes all the way down to those early wounds. I am the father that was absent. I am the love that was withheld. I am the voice that should have spoken worth and value and delight over you every single day of your childhood. And I am saying those things to you now. You are worthy of love, not because you are perfect, not because you perform well, but because I made you, and I do not make things that are unworthy of love. You were delightful to me the moment I formed you. You were wanted before your parents decided whether they wanted you. You were chosen before the foundations of the earth were put in place. The wound that tells you that you have to earn love is a lie. The truth is that you were loved before you ever did a single thing to deserve it. And that love has never stopped. I also want to speak about the patterns, because the wounds of childhood do not just affect how you see yourself. They create patterns that repeat themselves through your life, and often through the generations of your family. You find yourself in the same kinds of relationships over and over again, drawn to people who treat you the way you were treated as a child, not because you enjoy the pain, but because it feels familiar. Familiar and safe are not the same thing. You find yourself parenting in the same ways your parents parented you, even the ways you promised yourself you would never repeat, because those patterns are deeply grooved into you from years of watching them modeled. You find yourself managing stress, handling conflict, and relating to me in ways that were shaped by your earliest experiences of love and safety and trust. But here is the extraordinary news. These patterns can be broken, not by trying harder, not by willpower alone, but by letting me into the deep places where they were formed. When I get access to the root of a wound, I can heal it in a way that changes the fruit that grows from it permanently. I am not interested in helping you manage your dysfunction. I am interested in healing it at the source, in the deep underground places where no one else can reach. This is the work of transformation that I am inviting you into. It is not fast. It is not always comfortable. But it is real and it is lasting, and it is worth every difficult moment of the process. Part of that healing also involves something that feels deeply unfair. Forgiving the people who wounded you in those early years. Forgiving a parent who was absent. Forgiving a parent who was cruel. Forgiving the people who were supposed to protect you and did not. This is one of the hardest things I will ever ask you to do. And I am not going to minimize how hard it is by speaking about it too quickly. What was done to you as a child may have been genuinely terrible. The absence or the cruelty or the neglect or the abuse may have been real and serious, and it may have altered the course of your life in significant ways. I am not asking you to pretend otherwise. I am not asking you to say that it was okay when it was not, But I am asking you to release the person who did it from the prison of your unforgiveness. Not for their sake, for yours. Because the bitterness of an unforgiving heart is a poison that keeps contaminating the present with the pain of the past, and you deserve to be free from that contamination. Bring those wounds to me. Let me take them. Let me heal them. And let me give you the supernatural grace to forgive what you could never forgive in your own strength. Now I want to talk about one of the most destructive forces quietly at work in the lives of so many of my children. Comparison. The constant, low-grade misery of measuring your life against someone else's and always coming up short. You see what someone else has, what someone else looks like, what someone else has achieved, and something in you twists. Maybe it is their marriage that seems easy and joyful, while yours feels like constant work. Maybe it is their finances, the house they bought, the vacation they just posted, the business that seems to be taking off effortlessly. Maybe it is their gifts and abilities, the way they speak, the way they lead, the way creativity seems to flow out of them naturally while you feel like you are pushing through mud to produce anything at all. And the longer you look at what they have, the smaller and more inadequate your own life begins to feel. I am commanding you today to take your eyes off their lane and fix them back on your own. Because here is something you need to understand about comparison. You are always comparing your full reality to someone else's highlight reel. You see their wins, but not their struggles. You see their success, but not the years of invisible effort that came before it. You see their beautiful marriage in the photo, but not the hard conversation they had the night before it was taken. You see their thriving business, but not the sleepless nights, the failures, the pivots, and the tears it took to get there. You are comparing the whole messy truth of your life to the carefully edited presentation of theirs. And that is not a fair comparison. It was never a fair comparison. But beyond that, there is something even more important I want you to understand. The gifts, the timing, the journey, and the destination I have for you are entirely unique to you. I did not design you to walk someone else's path. I did not give you someone else's gifts and someone else's calling and someone else's story. I gave you yours. And yours is not lesser simply because it looks different. The flower does not look at the tree and feel inferior because it cannot grow as tall. The river does not look at the ocean and feel small because it cannot hold as much water. Every part of my creation has its own specific design, its own specific purpose, and its own specific beauty. And you are no different. When you spend your energy coveting what someone else has, you are not just making yourself miserable. You are also neglecting the extraordinary gift that is sitting right in front of you, unappreciated and undeveloped, because your eyes are pointed in the wrong direction. Turn your eyes back. Look at what I gave you. Look at where I have you. Look at what I am doing in your specific life, in your specific season, for your specific purpose. And start giving thanks for it. Gratitude is the antidote to comparison. It is physically impossible to be genuinely grateful for your own life and simultaneously miserable about what someone else has. Practice gratitude like a discipline, not as a feeling you wait for, but as a decision you make. Every single day, look for things to be grateful for. Small things, ordinary things, the sunrise, the fact that your lungs are working, the meal on your table, the people who love you, the fact that I woke you up this morning with purpose still alive in you. Start there and watch how the poison of comparison slowly loses its grip. I also want to speak to you about the feeling of being a disappointment. I see how many of you carry this one silently. The feeling that you have not turned out the way you were supposed to, that you have fallen too far short of what your parents hoped for, what your younger self dreamed of, what you believed I was calling you to. You look at your life, and you see the gap between where you are and where you thought you would be by now. And the gap feels like failure. It feels like evidence that you are just not enough, not capable enough, not faithful enough, not disciplined enough, and you are quietly, deeply ashamed. Let me speak very directly to that shame right now. I am not disappointed in you. I know that is hard to believe. I know that your experience of human disappointment, the look on a parent's face, the silence of someone whose expectations you did not meet, the feeling of having let someone down, has taught you to assume that I must feel the same way. But I am not a human parent working through my own wounds and projecting my own expectations onto you. I am the father who runs toward you when you are still a long way off. I am the one who sees you coming back, ashamed and empty-handed, and feels not disappointment, but overwhelming joy that you are home. I do not compare the life you actually live to the life I supposedly planned for you, and then hold the gap against you. I take the life you actually lived, with all its detours and failures and wrong turns, and I use every single piece of it. The detour was not wasted. The failure was not the end. The season where everything fell apart was not evidence that I gave up on you. It was often the very season I was doing the most significant work in you. So release the shame. Put down the weight of the expectation you could not meet, yours or anyone else's. You are not a disappointment to me. You are my child, and I am proud of you for still being here, for still trying, for still showing up even when it has been hard. That matters more to me than any achievement you could ever bring me. Please take a moment right now and subscribe to this channel if you have not already done so. And share this with one person in your life who needs to hear today that they are not a disappointment. You might be the reason they make it through this week. Hit subscribe and share this message right now. Let me now talk about rest. Real rest. Not just sleep, though sleep matters, but the deep, soul-level rest that so many of my children have completely forgotten how to access. You live in a culture that worships business, that treats exhaustion like a badge of honor, that tells you that your value is measured by your productivity, your output, your constant forward movement. And you have absorbed that message so deeply that you feel guilty when you slow down. You feel lazy when you rest. You feel like you are falling behind whenever you stop. And so you push and you grind and you hustle. And your body keeps going because it has to. But your soul is running on empty, and has been for a long time. I want to speak a very counter-cultural truth to you right now. Rest is not a reward for finishing your work. Rest is a rhythm I built into the very fabric of creation. I rested on the seventh day, not because I was tired. I do not get tired, but because I was establishing a pattern, a rhythm of work and rest that I designed your body and your soul to follow. When you violate that rhythm, when you treat rest as weakness and busyness as virtue, you are not being more faithful to me. You are breaking a design principle that I put in place for your protection and your flourishing. The most productive thing you can sometimes do is stop, sit down, do nothing for a while, let your mind go quiet, let your body recover, let your soul breathe. You are not a machine. You were not built for continuous output without regular rest. And when you try to operate that way, things start to break down. Your patience runs thin, your creativity dries up, your joy disappears, your relationships suffer, your health declines, and eventually, your body forces you to stop whether you choose to or not. Do not let it get to that point. Choose rest before rest is forced on you. I am also speaking about the deeper rest that comes from trusting me with outcomes. The mental and emotional exhaustion that comes from trying to control everything, from carrying worry about the future, like a physical weight, from rehearsing worst-case scenarios in your mind on an endless loop. That kind of internal restlessness is not fixed by sleep alone. It is only fixed by surrender, by genuinely releasing the outcomes you cannot control into my hands and leaving them there, by choosing to be fully present in the moment you are actually in rather than living in the anxiety of moments that have not come yet. Be here, right now, this moment, this breath, this ordinary Tuesday afternoon. Be here with me. I am in this moment. Let me meet you here. Every video is created with prayer time and dedication to reach those who may be searching for encouragement and faith. By supporting this ministry through PayPal, you help keep this mission growing and touching more lives each day. God bless you abundantly. Now I want to speak about something that very few people want to talk about: the purpose in your suffering. I know that might feel like a difficult thing to hear if you are in the middle of a genuinely painful season right now. And I want to be clear. I do not cause suffering for the sake of it. I am not a God who inflicts pain to teach lessons that could be learned another way. But I am also a God who is powerful enough to take the suffering that exists in this broken world and use it for purposes so profound and so far reaching that they could not have been accomplished any other way. The things that have broken you the most are often the very things that have made you the most useful to me. The addiction you fought your way out of gives you the ability to reach people still trapped in it with an authenticity and understanding that no textbook can replicate. The depression you survived gives you a compassion for people in the dark that changes the quality of your presence with them. The broken marriage that you walked through, whether it was restored or whether it ended, gave you a depth of understanding about relationships that now makes you exactly the right person to speak into someone else's pain. The grief that nearly buried you gave you an ability to sit with others in their grief without rushing them through it. Your suffering was not wasted. None of it. I have been collecting every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of genuine agony, and I am using all of it to shape you into exactly the kind of person who can reach the specific people I am calling you to reach. This does not mean you have to be grateful for the pain itself. It means you can be grateful for what I am doing with it. There is a difference. You do not have to say thank you for the hard thing, but you can say thank you that the hard thing did not destroy you. You can say thank you that something is being built out of the rubble. You can say thank you that the very worst chapter of your story is becoming the very thing that sets someone else free. Your testimony is not just your story. It is someone else's survival guide. And the more honest you are about the hard parts, the more powerful it becomes. I want to talk now about something that I know many of you are quietly wrestling with. A deep, unspoken tension in your relationship with me. A sense that trust, the real deep, all-in kind of trust, was broken somewhere along the way. Maybe you prayed for something with everything you had, and I did not answer the way you needed me to. Maybe you lost someone you begged me to heal. Maybe you went through a season of genuine suffering, and you could not find me in it, and something in you closed off a little to protect itself. Maybe you were hurt by people who represented me, people in the church or in your spiritual community, and the wound they gave you became a wound in your relationship with me. And now there is a wall, a thin, invisible wall made of disappointment and unresolved questions and carefully managed distance. You still show up. You still go through the motions. But you stop going all the way in, because all the way in feels too risky after what happened. I want to speak to that wall today. I am not angry that it is there. I understand why you built it. The heart protects itself after it gets hurt. That is what hearts do. But I want you to know that I have been standing on the other side of that wall the entire time, not with judgment or frustration or impatience, but with a patient, steady, fierce love that has been waiting for you to be ready to open the door again. I am not going anywhere. I will wait as long as it takes. But I also want to tell you that the life available to you on the other side of that wall is so much richer, so much deeper, so much more alive than the carefully managed, partially committed version you have been living on this side. The risk of loving me fully is real. I will not promise you a pain-free life, but I will promise you that I will never waste your pain, never leave you in it alone, and never stop working all things together for your good. Come back, all the way. Open the door. Humility is something I need to speak about as well, because one of the greatest dangers on the spiritual journey is what happens when growth starts to produce pride. You begin to see real change in your life. You start to experience breakthroughs. Prayers begin to get answered. Things begin to shift, and slowly, almost imperceptibly, something shifts inside you too. You begin to feel slightly superior to people who are still struggling with things you have already overcome. You begin to feel impatient with people who are still making mistakes you stopped making years ago. You begin to hold your growth up as evidence of your own spiritual achievement rather than my grace. And this is a very dangerous place to arrive at, because it closes you off to the very presence that produced the growth in the first place. I live among the humble. I pour my grace into lowly places, because water always flows down, never up. The moment you begin to feel that your growth makes you better than others, you have begun to close the very channels through which my grace flows into you. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is thinking of yourself less. It is being so genuinely focused on loving and serving others and walking closely with me that there is simply no mental space left for comparison or pride, or the constant measuring of yourself against the people around you. Walk humbly, serve quietly, give without announcing it, pray without performing it. The most powerful people in my kingdom are often the ones nobody in the world has ever heard of, because they have been faithfully pouring their lives into the people right in front of them without needing anyone to notice. Now I want to invite you into something that might seem too simple for how serious and complex your life feels right now. I want to invite you into joy, not the happiness that depends on circumstances going your way. That kind of happiness is fragile and temporary and available to everyone regardless of whether they know me. I am talking about the deep, rooted, unshakable joy that exists underneath all of it. The joy that is present even in the middle of difficulty, because it does not come from what is happening around you. It comes from knowing who holds you. This joy is available to you right now, in the actual circumstances of your actual life. Not in some future version of your life, when things are better. Not when the debt is paid off. Not when the relationship is healed. Not when the diagnosis comes back clear. Not when the dream is finally realized. Right now, in this, because I am here right now, and my presence is the source of fullness of joy. When you are genuinely in my presence, joy is not something you have to manufacture or perform or wait for. It is just there, like warmth from a fire. You do not have to explain it or justify it, or make it make logical sense given your circumstances. It is simply the natural result of being close to me. Practice finding me in the ordinary moments of your day. The way the light looks in the early morning. The sound of someone you love laughing. The first sip of something warm. The moment a burden lifts and you realize things are going to be okay. These are not accidents. These are my gifts to you, scattered through your ordinary days like hidden treasures, waiting to be noticed and appreciated and received with gratitude. I am speaking to you in the ordinary. I am showing you my love in the small things. Stop rushing past them. Stop living so deep in your head and your worries that you miss the actual gift of the moment you are living in. Be here. Find me here, and let the joy that comes from finding me become your strength. I want to speak briefly about something that feels impossible to most people. Praying for the people who have genuinely hurt you. Not just forgiving them in the abstract, but actually bringing their names before me and asking me to bless them, to heal them, to meet them where they are and do for them what only I can do. This is perhaps the most radical act of love available to a human being, and it is also one of the most powerful spiritual weapons you have access to. When you pray for an enemy, something happens in you. The bitterness that was attached to their name begins to loosen. The hold that the hurt has over you begins to weaken. Because you cannot sustain real hatred for someone you are genuinely praying for. The act of bringing them to me softens your own heart in ways that nothing else can. Try it. Think right now of the person whose name carries the most pain when you think it. The one who hurt you the most deeply, the most deliberately, the most unfairly, and bring their name to me. Do not pray for them to be punished. Do not pray for them to fail. Pray for them to be healed of whatever wound in them produced the behavior that hurt you. Pray for them to find me. Pray for them to experience the same grace that you have experienced. It will feel strange at first. It might feel completely impossible. Do it anyway. Do it as an act of obedience even when you do not feel it, and watch what begins to change, not just in them, but in you. And now, before we begin to move toward the close of this second part of our time together, I want to speak about something that your heart has been quietly longing for without quite knowing how to name it. The sense of home, not a physical place, but the feeling of being exactly where you belong, with people who know you and love you fully, in a life that feels aligned with who you truly are and what you were truly made for. That longing is real, and it is right, and it is something I placed inside you. It is a homesickness, but not for any place on earth. It is a homesickness for me, for the full, unhindered, face-to-face presence that you were designed for from the beginning. Every beautiful thing you have ever experienced on this earth, the moments of genuine connection, the experiences of breathtaking beauty, the fleeting sense that everything is right and good, those are echoes of what is coming, previews of the home that is being prepared for you right now. This world is not your final home. This life, as real and as significant and as precious as it is not the whole story. There is something so much bigger and so much better coming for you, that if I were to show you even a glimpse of it right now, it would ruin you for anything this world has to offer. So when the longing hits you, when you feel that inexplicable ache for something more, for something beyond what this life can give you, do not try to fill it with earthly things. Let it remind you. Let it point you home. Let it strengthen your grip on the eternal and loosen your grip on the temporary. You are just passing through, and where you are going is worth every hard moment of the journey to get there. You have stayed with me through this entire conversation, and I am deeply grateful for your heart, for your willingness to let me speak to the places that are most tender and most real in you. I want you to carry everything you have heard today like a lamp, not just knowledge in your head, but light in your life. Light that illuminates the path ahead of you. Light that helps others find their way. You are not the same person you were when you started listening today. Something has shifted. Something has been planted. Something has been healed. And even if you cannot feel it yet, trust that the work is real and the fruit is coming. Subscribe to this channel right now if you have not already, because this conversation is not a one-time event. It is an ongoing relationship. These messages will keep coming week after week, designed specifically to meet you where you are and take you deeper into the truth of who you are and who I am and what is possible when those two things come together. Subscribe, Share this with someone who needs it, and leave a comment below telling me what part of today's message spoke most directly to you. Your comment might be the very thing someone else needs to read tonight to keep going. My dear child, go now. Go with the knowledge that you are seen, known, and loved more completely than your mind can contain. Go with the confidence that the silent seasons are not abandonment. Go with the freedom of someone whose childhood wounds are being healed from the inside out. Go with eyes that see through comparison to the unique and irreplaceable gift of your own specific life. Go with the joy that lives underneath the circumstances. Go with the humility that keeps the grace flowing. Go with the patience that trusts me in the dark. Go with the courage to pray for the people who hurt you. And go with the homesickness that keeps your eyes pointed toward the eternal. You are deeply loved. You are being healed. You are being prepared. And where I am taking you is more beautiful than anything you have dared to imagine. Rest now, my beloved child. I have you completely, and I am not finished with you yet. Not even close. A single act of kindness can help God's message reach someone who needs hope today. If you feel blessed by this channel, you can stand with us through the PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. Thank you for helping us spread God's love one soul at a time. Now rest, my beloved child. Lay your head down tonight and sleep in the kind of peace that only comes from truly trusting your Father. I do not sleep. I do not slumber, which means while you rest, I am working. I am watching over your home, your children, your finances, your health, and your future. The burdens you carried into this time together do not belong to you anymore. You handed them to me, and I am not giving them back. Leave them here. Walk out lighter than you walked in. You are deeply loved. You are completely forgiven. You are entirely safe, and your future, the one I have been carefully and lovingly preparing for you, is brighter than anything your mind has yet been able to imagine. Wake up tomorrow knowing that the God who spoke galaxies into existence is smiling at you. He is proud of you. He is for you. He is with you. And He is absolutely, completely, forever in love with you. You are mine, my precious child. Now and always, rest well. I have everything under control.